Huh? Wait, you're that blonde traveler who's on a journey to all corners of Teyvat, right?
Who's asking? Do you need something from us?
You bet I do. I was worried I wouldn't be able to find you. I have a letter for you, you see. It's from another Outlander. He was a crafty fellow, let me tell you. Took advantage of a loophole in our mailing system by opting for guaranteed delivery, then filling in the most obscure mailing address I've ever seen.
Well, we are always on the road, so yeah, it's pretty tough to get mail to us unless we happen to go to the post office on a whim. So, what address did that person give you anyway?
He just wrote, next to a small, white-haired talking fairy.
What? So the address is Paimon?
Yeah, exactly, right? And if I failed to deliver the letter, I'd have been bound by regulation to compensate him. Really, he got me good. I count myself very lucky that I ran into you here. Of course, here it is. All yours.
Come on! Paimon wants to have a look too! Kaya, huh? So he's here in Sumeru. Now that Paimon thinks about it, Crafty does describe him pretty well. From what he wrote in the letter, it looks like he didn't think there was much chance of it reaching us. Or maybe he's just being sneaky. Do you think he's making this sound like a miracle of fate so that we'd have to go meet up with him? Yeah, you're right. It's always nice to see old friends. The letter says that he hangs out at Jafar Tavern every afternoon. Perhaps we should drop in on him then, huh? Kaya should be at Jafar Tavern right now. Let's go see him.
It's best.
I'll have something I haven't tried yet, boss.
Sorry, sir. I'm afraid you've already tried every type of liquor we serve.
Oh? Well then, just the bill, please. That's just as well, I suppose. I do have other matters to attend to.
Kaya, you're really here! Paimon half thought you were playing some sort of prank on us.
Hey, Paimon, traveler. Looks like the gods smile upon me after all. And come now, I wouldn't joke about wanting to see my good friends.
Wait a second. You must be here on official business, right? What do you think you're doing spending every afternoon drinking at the tavern? You itching for a lecture from Jean?
Not at all. The acting Grand Master positively terrifies me. Why would I ever do anything that might displease her? The truth is, I'm in Sumeru to learn about the alcohol industry here. So despite how it might look, I'm actually at Jafar Tavern for strictly business purposes. Sumeru's spices are famous the world over, and it's long been rumored that this fine establishment was where a certain very popular spiced cocktail was invented. That's why the Knights sent me, their foremost expert in alcoholic beverages, to come and see if it is as good as the rumors say.
And how did that go?
So far, so good. I'm already in talks with some spice merchants in Port Ormos about some potential collaboration.
Yeah, that does sound like a great business opportunity. Guess Don Winery and Master D-Luke are gonna make a tidy sum from this one too, huh?
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Whether this lucrative opportunity gets passed along to Don Winery or not depends on how nice I'm feeling.
Hey, using your job to settle personal grievances isn't very knightly, Captain!
Oh? What makes you say that? Very sharp of you. I wouldn't say I'm familiar, though. I just came here on the sly once, when I was very young.
And? Do continue.
Do I have to? When I said we could talk about the old times, digging up my past wasn't exactly what I had in mind. Well, all right, since you're so interested. Like I said, I was very young then. Don Winery had only just taken me in. I overheard my adoptive father talk about sending a team of merchants to Sumeru during a business meeting. I'm sure you'll agree that everyone's curious about their roots on some level. And my roots? They're in Conria, which is said to have been located deep underground, somewhere near Sumeru. And so I stowed myself away amidst the cargo, and silently joined the merchant delegation on their trip to Sumeru. But it wasn't long before the merchant delegation received news that I'd gone missing. Their leader promptly found me, and before I knew it, my adoptive father was dragging me back home by the ear. It was a short-lived adventure. Sorry I don't have a more thrilling story for you. Honestly, not much. The only reason I knew that Conria was near Sumeru is because I happened to read that in a book when I was young. My life had less and less to do with Conria as I grew up, and so I started caring less as well. I used to believe that I had inherited some sort of duty from my father. But then I began to wonder. Maybe my father left me in the peaceful land of Mondstadt for no other reason than simply to keep me alive. As well as ensuring that I'd be safely cut off from certain things. The thought that I might be able to actually live a happy life there must have been the icing on the cake. This is obviously all speculation. Simply put, I'm afraid that I'm not particularly in the know on this topic. These days, my surname, Alberich, is probably the only link to Conria that I have left.
One death afternoon, please, boss. Tell me, what do you know about the significance of that name, Alberich?
Dainsleif?
Ah, you've decided to join us. I was wondering how long you planned on listening in. I believe I've seen you before in Mondstadt. Dainsleif, if I'm not mistaken.
So you remember me. Then we are already acquainted, Kaya Alberich, descendant of the Abyss Order's founder.
Huh?
What?
I take it that you weren't aware of this until now, Kaya. Or you wouldn't have been so forthcoming with your surname.
Oh my. That's quite a lot of baggage for a surname, isn't it? Though I must say, it does confirm an old suspicion of mine. I suppose that was why my father left me in Mondstadt after all.
I'm surprised that you take me at my word without the faintest hint of skepticism.
Well, perhaps what you told me just happens to answer some questions I carry in my memories. And in any case, I recognize your eyes. You're a pure-blood Conrian, aren't you?
Very clever. Forgive me for being direct, but I sincerely hope this new knowledge doesn't change anything. If you've already let go of your ties to the past, then keep it that way.
Kaya, you're not involved with the Abyss Order in any way, are you?
Hey, hold on now. This conversation has taken a rather sudden turn for the deadly serious. And I'm afraid that as someone from Mondstadt, I'm not accustomed to this sort of atmosphere. So what if I know my ancestry? Do I strike you as the type who would be bound by that kind of thing? Relax. I'll be just as delighted to hunt down the Abyss Order tomorrow as I have always been. Either way, looks like we're out of time. I've got a spice merchant to meet in a minute, so I'll leave the three of you to carry on the conversation without me.
Well, alright then. You go do your thing, Kaya.
See you around. And Dainsleif, no need to listen in from the sidelines next time we meet. Let me buy you a drink.
You don't really trust him, do you, Dane? You're both from Conria, but you get on like oil and water.
The fact is, I still do not know him well. It would be meaningless for me to jump to conclusions. But can a person truly be unaffected by their ancestry? This remains to be seen. Well, I suspect that they call your brother their prince, precisely because there is a succession of sorts.
Oh, so if he was the founder, he'd be the king, right?
I mean to investigate the Loom of Fate. Do you remember that name?
Yeah, the Abyss Order's evil plan! We learned about that back in Mondstadt.
Not new. Not exactly. My memories suffer from erosion. But while I was recovering my health recently, I suddenly remembered something. Your brother. He mentioned the Loom of Fate back when we traveled together. Apparently so. I was also quite surprised when these memories tallied up. I recall that we were traveling to Sumeru when the matter was brought up.
So, you're going to the place that he mentioned back then?
Correct. At that time, they must have been introduced in one way or another to this concept. If I recall correctly, we were somewhere in Avidya Forest then.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go! Maybe we'll discover some secret that's lain hidden for hundreds of years!
No. Now is not the time. No, it's just... I'm still waiting for my drink.
Seriously?
Wait. This place, it's familiar.
What about it? It looks pretty normal to Paimon. Was it like this hundreds of years ago, too?
Yes. The forest has barely changed from how I remember it. There is very little human activity here after all. Let's search the area and see what we can find.
Is this a field? It must belong to whoever owns that house over there. But it looks like it's been abandoned for a long time. You could be forgiven for thinking nothing was ever grown here. Or, wait, maybe nothing ever was grown here. It's an extinguished bonfire. Forest rangers, perhaps? Looks like it's been ages since it was last lit. And clearly they put it out carefully to prevent a forest fire, too. That's responsible.
Nothing else stands out in this area. All that's left is that building. Come on.
Wait, we're just gonna go barging in? What if someone's home?
Unlikely. There are no signs of life in this area. We should be able to enter without incident.
If you say so. Well, you lead the way then, Dane. So they're really... There's a box over here. Why don't we open it? And by we, Paimon means you. Paimon's just scared that whatever's inside might bite her fingertips off. Huh? This is a mirror. It's broken, too. Was this a makeup box? That's kinda disappointing. Paimon was hoping we'd uncover some super big secret, especially after Dane talked this place up. This bed looks pretty ordinary. Huh. There's nothing underneath it either. What sort of person would want to live here? It's so dark and damp. Can't be all that comfortable. Hey, look! It's a bowl! Guess whoever used to live here liked to cook, huh?
Can't you smell it? There's a heavy scent of medicinal herbs in here.
Oh, so it's a medicine bowl? Seems you're right. You've got a good nose on you, Dane. Doesn't look like there's anything else worth our attention here. You sure we're in the right place, Dane?
My memories are quite foggy, but my subconscious and instincts both assert that something once happened here. But we'll exhaust ourselves if we search aimlessly. I hear noises outside. Let's go and check.
Noises? Is it...
It's not much. Just some minor adversaries.
monsters? Wow, Dave's ears are sharp, just like his nose. He's surprisingly good news for a 500-year-old. Although for someone who's as full of surprises as Dave, it's hardly a big deal. Anyway, let's beat up these monsters! Scatter!
Hit! Hit! My! Come a little closer. You've been a naughty boy.
Nice and spicy. Stand with me. Just you wait.
You're in for a little shock.
Booba, get them. Scatter.
Blitz.
I doubt that the appearance of those monsters was wholly random. There must be something nearby that attracted them. A ley line anomaly, perhaps. But it seems to be more than that. Okay. I'll go slightly further out to investigate any issues with the nearby ley lines. I might be a while. You should wait for me here.
What? You're going alone? You better not be trying to keep some secret from us.
Your suspicions are as banal as they are unwarranted. I merely think that this house should remain the focus of our investigation, and as such, someone ought to stay here and keep an eye on it. Not to mention that if even forest rangers are capable of investigating ley lines, I will be more than able to handle it alone.
Fair enough. Guess we'll just camp out here then. Good thing there's a bonfire over there. Let's make ourselves something to eat. All this running around has made Paimon real hungry. Out of the frying pan. Our bond is strong. Your cooking is as good as ever. Even if there was no other reason, the food alone would be enough for Paimon to stick with you. Changing the subject, Dane's taking forever. He said that there might be an issue with the nearby ley lines. How bad do you think it could be? We came together, but now it's back to just being the two of us again. You know, now that Paimon mentions it, we really have spent lots and lots of time together, haven't we? So, don't take this the wrong way or anything, but, do you ever get tired of Paimon being around? Oh, you stop it! Now you're embarrassing Paimon. So, next question. Don't know if it's okay to ask this, but Paimon's curious. What was it like traveling with your brother? The stars? Wow. Yeah, Paimon understands. Being separated without even knowing the reason why, it's just terrible. But we'll find the truth together. Sure as Paimon's your guide. Just you wait, Heavenly Principles, and you too, Teyvat. You know what? We've talked too long long about this sad stuff. Let's talk about something happy instead, 'cause if you're sad... All right. It's getting dark, so why don't you rest? Paimon will take first watch. Don't worry, no monster's gonna come and eat you up. Oh, come on! Don't say that! Paimon just wants to look after you for once. Nighty-night. Go on, shoo! Off to sleep!
Hey, time to wake up. The sun has risen. What a deep sleeper. You do know that we need to... Tear stains. You dreamed of your sibling last night, didn't you? All right. Rest here a bit longer then. I'll head into the forest to investigate.
Stand with me!
Halt! What do you think you're doing? This place is not whatever you think it is. Nor should you be poking your nose into my business. Begone! Your travel companion. You mean the one that was keeping watch by your side last night? Your companion departed for the forest early this morning. That much I saw with my own eyes. What business is that of yours, All you need to know is that I claimed this place first, and what I do here is none of your concern. Do I make myself quite clear? Leave! Well, what are you waiting for? If you must, suit yourself. I've been observing you, and you don't look like a forest ranger, nor someone from the academia. Still, I'm warning you, no funny business. Promise me that, and you can do as you please. Okay, fine. Whatever. Just move aside. I'm heading in. You... Oh, go on then. Have it your way. I knew I wasn't going to be able to hide this anyway. Just come in. But no overreacting to anything you see in here, okay? You understand me? Come on then.
mind your own business. And don't worry, he isn't aggressive. How could he be? He was too young for anything like that. So don't you lay a finger on him. Just find yourself a corner to rest if you're tired or cold. Huh? You know Conria? Who are you, exactly? And how do you know I'm from Conria? Do you worship a god, traveler? Sounds like you've had an eventful life. All right, well, my name is Ida, and you are correct. I was once Conrian. I apologize for my earlier hostility, but you must understand, as far as I'm concerned, humans who do not worship the Seven are nigh extinct. And all who place faith in the gods are my enemies. That may be. But the fact is that chances to talk to people like yourself have been few and far between since the cataclysm. This wretched curse of immortality. Who knows how long I must continue to suffer like this? The curse. It was a little gift given to the people of Conria by those vile gods. We lost our home, our loved ones, everything. The agony of the cataclysm itself was already too much to bear, but then came the curse, robbing us any chance of release. All we can do is watch helplessly as our souls erode and our bodies decay. Because, although Conria began with a single bloodline, it was a home to others too. Any who forsook their gods and came to Conria were welcomed as our fellow citizens. When the cataclysm came, we pure-blood Conrians were declared the greater sinners. Upon us the gods placed the curse of immortality. But those whose ancestry belonged to the domains of other gods were punished with the curse of the wilderness as they fled, turning them into monsters. He is Kari Bear, my illegitimate son. How times have changed. I can say that out loud with no consequence now, but it was once a matter of unspeakable shame. I was a noble of Conria, by blood, but I resented the life that my family had arranged for me. And then, one day, I met a beautiful woman amongst the people. Her roots were in Mondstadt, but that mattered not to me. It was love at first sight. Kari Bear faced great hardship from the very moment of his birth, all due to my selfish desires, and I was never able to be there by his side for any of it. After all that, he turned into a hilly troll right before my very eyes. I always owed him much, and now at least I can finally be close to him. She was we were separated. I do not wish to dwell on it. It could be worse. I suffer the pain of loss because I once had everything I could wish for. And now that I have lost almost everything, the little that remains I see with new clarity. If nothing else, at least I still have Caribert. Yes, that reminds me. I only returned here to check on Caribert, but I do have other things I wish to do. You may come with me, if you're so inclined. Over here. I'm sure you're wondering why I brought Caribert here to Sumeru. Well, it's because he needs a medicine that can only be made here. One which will help him to recover his clarity of mind. I do not hope to break the curse. I am well aware of my powerlessness against the punishment of the gods. But it is said that this medicine is imbued with the power of Sumeru's god of wisdom and can awaken the mind from a state of deep stupor. It has been used in the past to treat cases of mania. I believe that it might just work. I read about it in a book. From the Royal Library of Conria. It was banned. I mean, since this medicine requires the power of the Seven to work. In my youth, I disliked the life of nobility and craved excitement. I was leafing through some forbidden text and happened upon it. What other choice do I have? What exactly would you have me do? The gods have already punished us. Never mind. As long as you understand. I'm sorry. I struggle to take control of my mood sometimes. Perhaps a consequence of having lived too long. As it happens, I am in dire need of some help to make this medicine. My hands don't have the dexterity they once did. I fear they may be decaying from within. All thanks to this curse of immortality. Okay. To start with, take this ingredient. Also, do you have any, of Sumeru's regional specialties on hand? I believe they're called Kalpalata lotuses and Sumeru roses. Oh, wonderful! Oh, in that case, we have everything we need. This is the method for making the medicine. You just need to follow the steps. Is it done? Oh, splendid! Let me see! In all honesty, I do not know what the end product is supposed to look like. The banned book didn't feature any illustrations. Well, the moment has finally arrived. Curses. No! We need to perform one final step to complete the medicine. I said before that this medicine relies on the power of the God of Wisdom for its restorative effects. Which means we must pay a visit to a statue of the Seven. Let's go. Bring the medicine with you. Look at this statue. How can I bow before this thing? God of Wisdom! Look at me! I will utter no prayer, nor will I sing your praises. You and your kind destroyed my home, wrought unfathomable suffering on my compatriots, yet here I stand before you. You cannot mock me more than fate itself already has. God of Wisdom, I seek not to disavow myself of the sinful blood that flows through my veins. I wish only to beseech you to have pity upon a young and unfortunate soul, my son, Caribert. He was turned into a monster before he had the chance to witness anything beautiful in this world. This is no fate for a child. If everything the gods have done was in order to have the impious people of Conria bow their heads, then I bow to you now. I have given up all I ever stood for. All I ask is for a tiny miracle. For Caribert to see this world once more. Please, God! I beg of you. I have made quite enough of a fool of myself for one day. Caribert? Well, we've prepared the medicine. We might as well try it. Caribert, it's me. It's your father. Caribert. Caribert, please say something. I'm sorry I couldn't be at your side when you were born. And that I failed to reach you and Mama in time when you both were suffering. But I'm here now. Papa's been by your side all these years. I've never left you, not once. Are you still angry with me, Cory Bear? I know you're awake now. Do you not want to talk to me? I'm so sorry, Cory Bear. Forgive me. Please, say something, anything. Please. Please. Oh, gods above! What more do you want from me? You took everything from here, and I still bowed to you. I'd give you my very life if only you cared to take it. But you won't even let me die. I knew it. I should never have trusted anything that had to do with the gods. I was just deluding myself. The gods of this world have never stood with humanity, not even for a moment. Other reasons? What do you mean? Huh. You really think so? Give up? No, never. And yes, you're right. I cannot let myself wallow in despair. Even if I must stay here with him for 50 years, 100, what difference does it make? I do not lack for time. Let's go. We'll make another dose. The most crucial ingredient in this medicine is the unusual mushroom, which makes things complicated, but not impossible. I grow them in that field. The details don't matter, right? Curb your curiosity and just do as I instruct. If you truly wish to help me, that is how you can do it. There is a waterfall near the statue I prayed at. I need you to collect some water from there around 2 in the afternoon. I'll be here watching Cory Bear. Once you're back, I will make some fertilizer for the mushrooms. Good. Then please head over when the time comes. Ah, you're back. Coribear's condition is stable. By which I mean he still isn't responding. Anyway, give me the water. I need you to stand guard here for a while. Whatever you do, don't let any forest rangers approach the house. Ah, good. I'll be back soon. The fertilizer won't take but a moment to make.
Boba, get them! You've been a naughty boy. He, ha! You, he, ha! Propagate! Ha! Ta! Nya! Ha! Come a little closer. Don't be such a brute. Ugh. Scatter! He... He...
What happened? Was it monsters? Oh, thank goodness you were here. I couldn't have taken them on all by myself. I'd have to hide and wait until they were gone. Oh, yes, I've got the fertilizer. The effects can take some time to kick in, so let's get on with it. Next, we pick the mushrooms and repeat the same steps as before to make another dose. I trust you still remember the method. Oh, sorry. I just, after resting in this field for a while, my thoughts began to wander. I have been so very wary for many years. If only I could fall asleep here in this field and never wake up again. I do indeed. That's why it was just a fleeting thought. Thank you for your help once again. And now, for the final step. Back to the Statue of the Seven. We're here. Let's begin. Wait a moment. Hey, what was that? Coribear! Oh no, he must have left while we were too busy preparing the medicine to notice. Come on, we have to catch up with him. That's not Coribert. Right. Coribert's scarf was a gift I once gave to his mother. I use it now as a marker of sorts. My eyes must be going. How could I not recognize my own son? This decrepit body of mine. Yes. It doesn't seem interested in us in the least. It seems intent on walking in that direction. Where could it be going? Yes. The more we know about Hilly Churls, the better. Did it go in here? What a ghastly place. Has it always existed? I swear I've never noticed it before. Huh. It looks like they're, worshipping. Sometimes walking, sometimes kneeling in worship, and it appears to be in earnest. I've never seen anything like this in all my life. What in the world does this place conceal? Oh, there's only one way to find out.
Is this a teleportation device? What energy is powering it?
You're in for a little shock.
Propagate! Nice and spicy! Scatter!
little closer.
How did I get on the ceiling? Did the room turn upside down, or gravity itself? It seems like I need to find a place to insert the rune. Maybe I wasn't meant for this world.
Halt, humans! Fate has not granted you the right to enter this place. Do you insist on an audience? Very well. Then I grant you the trial of destiny.
Get out of the frying pan!
Desolation!
Try not to enjoy this too much. Don't be such a
Boba, get them! Eat this!
Out of my way! Stand with me! Propagate!
Scatter! Nice and spicy!
Desolation! Suffering!
You're in for a little shock.
That really hurt!
Our bond is strong!
Hear the final prophecy.
Scatter! Spring forth!
Surrendering will be gentle.
Dissipate! Lightning terrify! Take care of the pain!
Who was that? He was a perfect being. I'm in awe. He had the most wondrous aura, a perilous yet beautiful power. Oh, truly mesmerizing. And yet, you were able to defeat him. Oh, your strength is greater than I had imagined. Let's continue on. I find myself growing more curious by the second and more excited.
Stand with me! Strong!
I think we've made it to the end.
Oh, dear creature, why do you bow down? For fear of the unknown? Or for a power that you covet? Oh, dear creature, why do you bow down? For I am no god, I am but a sinner. You are like a flower, born in sin, yet pure, spotless. I know your fate well. You need no longer hold back your resentment, nor accept the countless lies. Go forth, become a transcendent one. Rise beyond the fate bestowed upon you. And I shall shed a tear at the end of time, as I gaze back upon your life.
What just happened? When I saw that thing, my heart was instantly at peace. I was overcome by a sense of awe or joy, perhaps. I am I feel good. In fact, I feel better than I did before I came in here. How peculiar. Oh, is that so? All right, as you wish. Caribert! Oh, thank goodness! He's still okay! I have a strange feeling that what just happened was meant to be. For this to happen, right at the moment when I was dreading worshipping at a statue of the Seven, it's as if fate was calling to me. You say that I bowed before that thing, so perhaps it might be just as effective. Well, I have to try. No matter what, you said it yourself. I have to exhaust all options. Caribert?
Papa?
Caribert! Oh, my goodness, it worked! It's a miracle! Oh, Caribert, my dear son! You see? It worked! Caribert can speak again!
Where's Mama?
Mama is... Caribert, look at me. Do you know who I am?
Of course. Your Papa.
Yes! Salvation! Sweet salvation! Yes, yes! This is what this feeling is. How do you feel, Caribert? Are you fully awake now?
Yes. It feels like I just woke up from a long, long sleep. I dreamed that I was hiding in a little room. I didn't dare go out the whole time, and I didn't want to either. Wait. My body! What happened to me? Is this me? Papa? What's happened to me?
Don't panic, son. It's just... While you were sleeping, we went into a fairy tale world. There's no more Conria here. No more home. But, do you know what that means? No more red sky. No more end of the world. In this world, you have to be a little monster, but you get to stay with Papa forever.
Am I dead?
No, of course not. Look, Caribert, you still have Mama's scarf on your arm. That means she's watching over you, protecting you. So how could you be dead?
Really?
Yes, really. You've only just woken up, and this must all be very confusing for you. Just rest here for now. Things will get better. Oh, and, you have to promise me something. Never take off your mask. Understand? Whatever happens, you mustn't take it off.
Okay, Papa. I won't. I promise.
Not since that day have I been so glad as I am now. I can't believe this is really happening. I knew that placing my hope in the Seven was a waste of time. I even worshipped at one of their statues like a common fool. Never before have I humiliated myself like that. Once a murderer, always a murderer. I was naive to think that the gods who conspired against us would ever offer redemption. But the god we saw in that cave, now that was a truly mighty god. Nothing like one of the Seven. That wondrous power, it was truly enchanting. Surely that must have been the reason I bowed down. Now then, after one beseeches a god, and the god responds by answering their prayers, should they, do something to show their devotion? Piety is hardly my area of expertise. But surely I should honor the god that has honored my wishes. A sinner? Oh, don't be absurd. You don't know a single thing about him. How dare you utter such blasphemy? You and I have both witnessed his divine power. When has the Seven worked a miracle like this before? Never! He is a god, mightier than they, and yet you would call him a sinner. Oh, preposterous! No matter. Believe what you will. You cannot shake my faith. I am going to pay my respects with or without you.
Strong. Ha! Nice and spicy. Ha! Here. Here. You. He. Hup. Come a little closer.
Scatter! Out of the frying pan, into the fire! Ha!
No! Impossible! What happened? The Hilly Churl worshippers have disappeared too? Was it all an illusion? That's true. Yes, it can't have been an illusion. I still feel that awesome and wondrous power flowing through my mind and body. It was neither illusion nor coincidence, and certainly no dream. It was a wonder. Yes, a divine wonder. Let's go, traveler. There is surely a reason for its disappearance, and I do believe that someday in the future we shall see it again. Could he really have been a sinner and not a god? Cory Bear? Where has he gone? Oh, no. Maybe someone else came by and found him? No, it can't have been that. There's no sign of a break-in and no sign of anyone having been here. This does not bode well. What if he's spotted by a forest ranger or an adventurer in his current state? Wait a minute. This isn't how we left it. Oh no. Did he... The mirror! It's broken! He must have taken his mask off and seen what he looks like beneath it. If he'd just done as he was told! We have to find him. It's his scarf. He dropped it. Looks like we're going the right way. Come on.
This way!
Cory Bear! Cory Bear! Where are you? Curses! Forest rangers.
Hey! Who are you? We haven't seen you around here before. What's your business here?
Have you seen a hilly churl? A hilly churl should have come past this way. Have you seen it?
I asked you first. Don't make this more difficult than it needs to be.
I said, have you seen a hilly churl?
Hey, whoa. Look, sir, there's no need to get so worked up. There are hilly churls everywhere. What's the big deal? We see plenty of them out here.
Exactly. Matter of fact, we just took out a few of them back there. Those dumb boneheads.
You... Forest Ranger scum! You spawn of the Seven are all the same! I'll have your heads if you so much as laid a finger on Cory Bear!
You're raving mad! You've got some gall coming here to our nation insulting the Forest Rangers!
Curse you all, Forest Rangers!
I don't get it. Why make such a huge fuss over a few hilly churls? Makes no sense.
He'd only just regained his mind. How could you do this to him? So tell me, forest rangers, did you really spare none of them? Did you really take out every last hilly churl you saw?
Jeez, you're really not gonna let this go. Fine, you weirdo. If you must know, I happened to cross paths with a solitary hilly churl when I left the team to, use the toilet. I was frightened at first, but it didn't seem to have any interest in me at all. It was just bumbling along in that direction, so I left it alone.
Yes! Wonderful! Wonderful! Let's go! We have to find him!
Wait, you're leaving? Not even a thanks for the info, goodbye?
Cory Bear! Cory Bear, stop! It's me! It's Papa! Whatever you saw, it was all a trick. An illusion. I told you, we're in a fairy tale world now. Nothing here is real. Please, Cory Bear, come back. It's time to go back. Cory Bear? How could this happen? He regained his mind. He must be able to hear me. Surely. Come, Cory Bear. We have to go home now. Papa's here to take you home, all right?
Papa.
Cory Bear,
Papa, I can't take it.
please, Cory Bear. It's my fault. I'm so sorry. If only I'd known.
It's all too much. Papa!
I see. I understand now. Finally, it all makes sense. Ah, Traveler, you're awake. Finally, we can rejoice together. Wait, no. Why am I still calling you Traveler? Oh, I have known your true identity for some time now. I suspected it was you. Oh, from the beginning. I had to talk to you to be sure. Oh, of course you haven't. With your status, you can hardly be expected to know all of us. In any case, I've been using a fake name this entire time. Ida is the name of a servant I once had. My real name is Clotar. Clotar Alberic. You saw it too, didn't you? Unmistakable, the power inside Cory Bear and the power of the one you call a sinner. It was one and the same. Yeah. I am positive now. It's the power of the abyss, isn't it? Oh, At long last, I have seen it with my own eyes. That is no business of yours. A sinner. Yes. Salvation for a sinner can only come from a sinner. Caribert did not deserve his fate, but now it's wonderful. He will be able to weave his own destiny anew. Born into abject sorrow, he shall now become the loom of fate. Huh? Sinister. Dangerous. Oh, I never imagined that you, of all people, would deny the Abyss. How ridiculous! We once believed that you would bring new strength and hope to Conria. To us, you were the Abyss. A wondrous mystery far beyond our imagination and comprehension. And the one who controls the Abyss can control everything. We yearned for that future. We looked to you to take us there. But what did you bring us instead? Oh, Prince of Conria?
What did he just call me?
Traveler! Hey, Traveler! Traveler!
You're awake! Oh, thank goodness you're awake! Paimon was worried sick! Traveler? Traveler?
What happened while you were unconscious? I checked the ley lines nearby. It appears that the Abyss tampered with them, and they've been in turmoil ever since. Information and memories flow within the ley lines. What did you witness? You mean Clothar Alberich? After founding the Abyss Order, his faith in the Abyss led him to do a great many things. But the curse of immortality continued to torment his body and mind. And in the end, neither his faith nor the Abyss he worshipped could save him. After 100 years, he lost his mind completely and was never seen again. Yet his dark legacy lived on. The defiled statue that we encountered previously was just one perverse product of his use of abyssal power during his life. You could say that. He wouldn't be the Abyss Order's prince otherwise.
Are you alright? You have a troubled look on your face. What happened?
So you saw his memories from centuries ago through your own eyes. It all but defies belief. Still, as I'd suspected, the notion of the Loom of Fate did indeed rear its head during that time. And it seems closely connected to Clothar Alberich's son, Caribert, and what happened to him. And yet your brother never breathed a word of this incident to me. I wonder, was that the moment that he decided to go down this path? Indeed. Clearly, this series of events sparked a long period of deep contemplation. This was where it all began. What is it?
The field? What does that have to do with anything?
You mean here? Well, let's start digging and see.
You scared the Duke out of Paimon! Did you rebury them yet?
A male and female skeleton, buried together. Interestingly, the male skeleton appears to have been interred much later, and it's holding a silk scarf in its hand. But what does this mean? And how did you know that there were bodies buried here? What? That's impossible. Unless Clotar Albery finally found a way to rid himself of the curse. This all raises far too many questions. I need time to think, and to search my memories for some missing pieces. We should part ways here.
Huh? You're just gonna leave? Why? You could come with us, you know.
It's better that we split up for now. I think that he might have seen you.
Who's he?
Yes. I have my suspicions as to his identity, but I need to confirm some other details before I can be sure. If the time is right, I will tell you when we next meet.
But what do you mean that he saw the Traveler? How is that possible?
I fear that while these things would limit anyone else, they are no obstacle to him.
What? Why? What is he?
All right, let's leave it there. Get some rest. Goodbye.
There goes Dane. And just like that, it's back to being the two of us again, huh? What is it? Huh? The first time we came here. Oh, Paimon remembers! Nahita's consciousness had been trapped by the doctor, but we followed the clues she left behind to help her. So much time has already passed since then, and it seems Sumeru's changing for the better now that Nahita's in charge, right? Paimon just hopes this peace will last a long time, and then Nahita won't have any more new problems to deal with. Yeah, guess you're right. We somehow always find ourselves right in the thick of it. Who knows what will happen next? Come to think of it, maybe it's all because of you. Maybe you're just a magnet for trouble. Huh? Me? Before Paimon ran into you, Paimon never ran into any trouble. At most, when she was super tired, Paimon got caught in some strange whirlpool and sucked out into sea. And even then, you fished Paimon out! Anyway, for Nahita's sake, maybe we should think about heading to our next destination for now.
Ah, look who it is. Running into you in a place like this? I can see you two still love wandering around.
Oh, it's Dia! Since when are we just wandering around? We're usually taking care of some serious business. Even though it may have nothing to do with our journey. But never mind that. What brings you here?
I just finished a commission in the desert for a usual client of mine. Nothing too interesting. Just escorting a shipment of goods. I'm on my way to report back. That's when I saw you two all the way over there, chatting away. What were you two talking about anyway? Huh? You serious? Can't say I saw that coming. But you are travelers after all. I guess you'd never stay for too long in one place. Bumping into you like this will become a rarity. I'm starting to feel sad just thinking about it. Hey, how about I gather a few mercs to escort you two? What do you say?
Thanks, but no need. Oh, Paimon had no clue you'd miss us so much. But don't worry, we'll come back to see everyone when we get a chance.
Sounds good. All you need to do to get to Fontaine is cross this stretch of desert and navigate some waterways. Knowing you two, I'm sure it won't be anything you can't handle. So, when are you leaving?
Oh, wait a sec. Paimon just remembered there are still a few dishes in Sumeru that Paimon hasn't tried yet. Now, where's that list Paimon made?
I see. Guess you won't be needing a going-away party or anything. It's sad enough to see you go like this. Though, now that I think about it, Sumeru wouldn't be what it is today without you. Seems true heroes always prefer leaving quietly.
By the way, should we go say bye to Nahida? Oh, good point. Then there's no need to bother her in the real world.
Then, I guess this is goodbye for now, Traveler and Paimon. Whether as a client or a friend, you're always welcome to come find me.
Goodbye, Dia. Bye-bye, Sumeru. Sand and water, we finally made it! Oh, this must be Fontaine's port. Wow, everything looks so advanced in Fontaine. Paimon's heard that the industry here is extremely developed, and there are all kinds of unusual machines. Just seeing the sights as a tourist is nice, but maybe it would be better if we found something to do. What do you think? Good idea! Nahida gave us loads of useful information. Seeking out the Seven is probably still our best source for information at this point. Yeah, the more we can learn, the better. So, what do you think the Hydro Archon's like? Will we get along? Nahida said that she has a very unique personality, whatever that means. To learn about a nation's god, start with the nation's people. There seems to be some locals talking over there. Let's go see if we can join the party.
If you ask me, it's a tragedy how things ended for him. Clearly, he was a pretty decent person.
Yeah, I didn't expect that kind of ending for him. I thought he would at least fight on a little longer for his family. I was expecting a sudden plot twist, but it's a pity that it never happened. Still, his story is quite the tearjerker.
Excuse me. Can I help you two? I couldn't help but notice you standing here listening.
Hi. We're travelers new to Fontaine, and we had something we wanted to ask, but you seem to be really busy talking about some kind of play, so we didn't want to interrupt.
Play? Oh, no. We're talking about something that really happened. In fact, it's a case that was just heard a few days ago.
Really? Like, a real trial? But the way you were talking about it and the words you used just now made it sound like some kind of story.
Well, good tales are often based on true stories, aren't they? And what you see in reality may also be someone deliberately putting on an act while harboring ulterior motives. Whether something is true or not simply isn't that important. The main thing is whether the story being acted out on the stage is splendid enough. Oh, but it looks like you're not from around here. You probably don't know that the Fontaine Court of Justice is called the Opera Epiclese, or more commonly known as just the Opera House.
But, shouldn't court cases be treated a little more seriously than that? Not to question Fontaine's way of doing things. It's just that putting someone on trial is usually a very serious thing.
No worries. Other visitors to Fontaine have wondered the same thing. You could say that we just don't want to waste the moving stories behind those cases. And as for your worries about whether the cases are treated with due reverence, we have the absolutely just and honorable Chief Justice Neuvillette, as well as the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal, a machine created by the Archon. Between the machine and the Chief Justice, false charges and injustice are a thing of the past now.
Oratrice? Is it some kind of machine, too? Oh, Paimon's curious. We should check it out if we get the chance. Wait, Paimon almost forgot to ask you our question. Do you know what we should do if we want to meet the Hydro Archon?
Oh, that's easy. Just go to the Opera House. Lady Farina practically lives there. You could definitely say it's her biggest passion.
Huh. I think what they mean is that they wish to speak with the Archon personally. In that case, I'm afraid it's going to be a tad more difficult. You'll have to make an appointment well in advance, and it'll depend on whether or not she has any time slots available.
Huh. Is the Hydro Archon super busy taking care of official stuff? Wait, didn't you say that she's always at the Opera House?
No. Lady Farina seldom takes an interest with the nation's affairs. The reason it's difficult to make an appointment is simply because she's incredibly popular.
That's right. After all, she is the Archon. Though she may tend to get a little dramatic from time to time, people can't get enough of her.
Huh. First time Paimon's ever heard of an Archon being described that way before. Wait! Paimon gets now! The Hydro Archon is kinda like a big celebrity here, right?
Yeah, I suppose you could say that. Perhaps you could even say our mascot.
Hang on. This is still Fontaine's Archon you're talking about. You should show some more respect.
Yes, you're right. I guess I should at least try to be a little more respectful in front of visitors. Otherwise, I might get arrested and find myself face to face with Monsieur Neuvillette.
Come on. Sure, there's a lot of laws here, but nobody's going to be arrested for saying something disrespectful about the Hydro Archon.
Alright, I think we get it. Thank you! At least we now know that we can find the Hydro Archon at the Opera House. But who knows how long making an appointment will take? Guess we could have a look around the city in the meantime. Hey! What are you looking over there for? Huh. Maybe something's the matter. She isn't going to jump into the water, is she? Maybe we better go check on her. Hello there. Excuse me. Are you alright?
Huh? I'm fine. Thanks.
Oh, okay then. We just noticed that you seem to be worried about something.
About many things, actually. But there's nothing I can do but just keep my troubles to myself. I was just reminiscing about a place my brother and I would play when we were kids. It was just atop that hill over there. See?
You're pointing at the sea. Wait, are you saying that you and your brother lived in the water?
No people call the waters around Fontaine a sea. It's actually just an inland lake that's filled with fresh water. And no, I can still see that hill clearly in my memories. Now, it's been completely submerged. He would skip and jump, tossing sand in the wind. The sun shone brightly, and the air was filled with the scent of the sea. But now, the water is gradually swallowing our memories. It won't be long before it swallows us.
Sorry. Paimon doesn't really get what you mean.
I don't believe we've had the pleasure of meeting. Are you Lynette's new friends?
Oh, and you are?
Thanks for looking after my sister. She often comes here to reminisce about our childhood, that's all. There's no need for any concern. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Linny, and this is my sister Lynette. If I had to guess, I'd say you must be travelers from abroad.
Nice to meet you. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler. We just arrived in Fontaine. We were just talking with your sister. Even though we didn't really get what she was saying.
I see. It's unusual for Lynette to be so willing to talk with anyone. In fact, she seldom speaks at all. I'm usually the only one she ever talks to.
Oh, really? Then you two are just like us! Paimon's always the one talking for some reason. So that's how you think it is?
I also think my brother can be too talkative at times.
Seems you were right, Paimon. We are quite similar.
So, what did Lynette mean just now when she said that the water is engulfing your memories, and that it won't be long before it engulfs you too?
Oh, that. It's from a prophecy that's been circulating in Fontaine for some time now. Well, I suppose prophecy isn't exactly the right word, because that implies a certain amount of uncertainty. There's no doubt about what's happening in Fontaine now. Where to begin? Let's put that question on hold for a moment. We still haven't formally greeted each other yet, have we?
Did all the introductions earlier not count?
Hello, traveler. And hello, Paimon.
Hey! Why didn't Paimon get a handshake? You're not poking fun at Paimon, are you?
Please, don't take offense. Just consider it a sort of etiquette we have here in Fontaine when making new friends. You should remember it. It might prove useful.
Oh, all right then. Well, Paimon's just happy to have a local friend now. By the way, we were just getting ready to go to the Opera House to meet the Hydro Archon. Would you be able to show us the way?
So you're going to see Lady Farina? No problem at all. In fact, I was planning to go to the Opera House later myself. I'll gladly take you once I finish things here. Please, follow me. You said you were going to see Lady Farina? Well, it seems Lady Farina has come to see you.
So, she's the Hydro Archon? But how did you know we were looking for her?
My dear people, rich and poor, those with cup in hand and those with nothing at all, raise your glasses in celebration. If you don't have one, then just raise your hand in lieu. As you can all see, two unfamiliar travelers have arrived in our nation. Come, let us make a toast in honor of this traveler and her companion who have journeyed here from distant lands.
Is she talking about us?
I've long heard of the turmoil and chaos you left in your wake as you visited other nations, but I welcome you nevertheless. No, I have come to receive you personally. Fear is for insignificant cowards. I am a god, and I will never entertain the notion of such meaningless wariness. You can be rest assured. I see clearly your sincerity. Of course, seeking an audience with me is the most sensible thing to do. It will allow you to truly behold my power and witness my authority. Intelligent people always gather under the correct banner. I, Focalor, hereby welcome you to the nation of Hydro and acknowledge the value and significance of your trip. Now, you may rejoice in this.
Yeah, Paimon still can't believe it. Feels like we've only been here for a few minutes. But the Hydro Archon's entrance was, how should Paimon describe it? A little over the top? Miss Hydro Archon? How
see. As Outlanders, you inevitably lack even some of the most basic understanding. Don't forget that even the gods can be divided into the mediocre and the excellent. I suppose it's only natural for you to be awestruck by my abilities. You had best stop and consider. Do you really have the noble qualities and etiquette necessary to communicate with a god? All it takes is a flick of my finger for me to know everything about you.
Whoa. Talk about sounding high and mighty.
Oh? What's with these looks? Perhaps the welcoming ceremony still isn't enough? What else should I say then?
Is she waiting for us to start talking?
Wow, I didn't expect to see Lady Farina here. What a surprise! Wait, does this mean they're the legendary blonde traveler? How did I not notice before?
Hey, what's all the commotion? Oh, is that Lady Farina? Is there some kind of drama going on?
Of course. That's the blonde traveler, the one all those stories are about. Lady Farina came here to personally see her. Oh, I bet this is going to be the duel of the century.
Ooh, I've got to see this. I knew Lady Farina would never disappoint.
Yes, but don't get too excited now. My dear believers and spectators alike tend to get quite rowdy, and despite the noise, I've come to tolerate all their ruckus. You may consider this my reward to all of you. I have determined that there will be an epic duel between myself and this traveler from another land, just as you were hoping to see.
Now she wants to fight? Aren't we getting a little ahead of ourselves?
Are you not afraid? Might I remind you that this is a duel against the divine?
What are you trying to do, traveler? Provoking a god in front of her people?
Stand down, Clorend. I admire her bravery. Few have the courage to draw their sword against a god. She is obviously a true warrior. Unfortunately, people nowadays only crave to be thrilled, and a mere duel will not slake their thirst for excitement.
Huh. Yeah, she's right. Just a duel wouldn't be all that interesting.
On Araneus, criminals are always requesting duels to defend their honor. You're getting a bit old, to tell the truth.
You see. Then, as the god of justice, I shall face this traveler in another kind of duel. A duel in court!
All right! Now that'll be worth seeing!
Right. This is Fontaine, after all. Such a grand opera house, it would be a pity not to use it.
Why do you care so much about the crowd's reactions? Seems you've spent a little too much time in the opera house. Besides, how exactly do you plan to have a duel in court? You mean you're going to put us on trial?
Oh, we have reason to put you on trial. It's obvious, isn't it? According to Fontaine law, no one is permitted to release any flying objects within Fontaine city limits during the first 3 days of each month. You are clearly guilty of violating this law, no?
Oh, so that's what they've done wrong. That's our Lady Farina. No one knows the laws of Fontaine like she does.
You call that obvious? What kind of law is that? Wait, flying object? You mean Paimon?
Precisely! Now, if you two have no objections, then in the name of the Hydro Archon, I order your arrest.
My apologies, Lady Farina. I don't mean to spoil the fun. But if you would allow me to interject, I don't think that Paimon here meets the definition of a flying object.
You tell her, Linny! Finally someone who's not crazy. How could anyone call Paimon a flying object?
Ah, great magician Linny, my beloved citizen. I'll permit you to object, but how exactly do you plan to prove your claim?
As a magician who just rained on your parade, I naturally should shoulder the responsibility of saving the show. So, with such an audience gathered here, allow me to perform a trick for everyone.
Ta-da! What? What's that on Paimon's back? Hey, when did Linny do that?
There. As you can all clearly see, Paimon should be classified as, well, something like a balloon. This rope has been in the Traveler's hand all along. It was just that no one could see it before.
Huh? You call that magic? You've got to be joking.
I thought it was pretty good. Nice one.
Huh. I'm not sure what to think. It seems Lady Farina's charges no longer hold water.
Amusing. Very amusing, Linny. Just the sort of unexpected twist that I enjoy. With you here, today's performance can finally be called complete.
Performance? You see all this as a performance?
In which case, consider the matter of your trial resolved. The god of justice will not bring charges against an innocent person. But when there are valid grounds, I will not only judge travelers from abroad, but even the gods of other lands. I look forward to seeing your upcoming performance at the Opera House, Mr. Linny and Miss Lynette. That's enough for now. Toodaloo!
Unpredictable Archon Paimon's ever seen. You never even had a chance to ask her anything. But that's a problem for future Paimon. That whole scene just now was really...
Don't mention it. I just happened to remember that there was such a law, so I did a little preparation, just in case. I didn't think it would actually come in handy. So, now do you see what kind of god Lady Farina is?
She can be a bit confusing at times, but she is still amenable to reason.
Anyway, Paimon had no idea you were a magician, Linny. It sounded like you'll be performing at the Opera House, right?
I just know a few simple tricks I use to make a living. Lynette is my assistant. It will actually be my first time performing on the most prestigious stage in Fontaine, the Opera House.
But isn't the Opera House where criminal trials are held in Fontaine?
When there are no public trials being held, the Opera House hosts a variety of other performances. To the people of Fontaine, the line between a trial and a performance can be a little blurred. And speaking of performances, I would be remiss to forego this opportunity gifted by fate. Might I invite the two of you to see my performance?
My brother's always excited to make new friends.
Oh, sure. We don't really have anything to do now, and we wanted to go to the Opera House anyway.
Splendid. In that case, why don't we go together? I'll show you the way. I just have something to take care of first. You really mean it? Then I'll take you up on your offer. This is a magical item known as a magic pocket. Perhaps you can help me distribute them to the people here.
Huh? What are they going to use it for?
About that... You asked me before about the prophecy, right? Let me start by telling you a little more about what it entails. I'm not sure exactly when it began, but a prophecy has been circulating around Fontaine. It says that every person in Fontaine is born with sin. No matter how the nation of justice holds trial after trial, this sin cannot be absolved. Until one day, the water levels in Fontaine will rise, and the sinful people will slowly be drowned. In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain, weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
That sounds pretty gloomy. Why are people in Fontaine born with sin? What is that supposed to mean?
There are lots of guesses. Some say that the ancestors of Fontaine stole the power of the seas and stirred its wrath. Others say that the people of Fontaine never heeded the first Hydro Archon's warnings and offended Celestia. But here in Fontaine, evidence is what matters. There hasn't been concrete evidence for any of these claims, so they can only be regarded as conjecture.
If even the people in Fontaine don't know what sin they committed, wouldn't it be better just to ignore the prophecy completely? Why bother feeling guilty all the time?
That's exactly what the people did at first. But in the last few years, the water levels in Fontaine have actually started rising.
Many places have already been completely submerged, and now lie beneath the sea.
Many people carry on with their lives as before and shrug it off as a natural phenomenon. But my family and I think that the people of Fontaine shouldn't ignore the possibility, which would end up sentencing them to death. We hope that at least the people who reside near the waterfront can move away before it's too late. So, we've started distributing magic pockets to them. As a magical item, these magic pockets have astonishing capacity. I'm sure they will come in handy when people are moving their belongings.
Oh, Paimon gets it! It's like preparing for a rainy day! But this is more than a bit of rain.
Perhaps only absolute power could ever contend with such a catastrophe. But who knows? We're just tiny specks in the grand scheme of things. Now, if you'd like to help, then please give these magic pockets to anyone nearby. Be sure to convince them to take it, regardless of what they say.